Hey, there are some reasons why Democrats, there's a case for panic. I mean, there's data out there that should alarm Democrats. And you go through and look at some of those things. When you hear people like Alyssa Slotkin in Michigan or Tammy Baldwin in Wisconsin privately telling people that the vice president's behind in those states, that's a good reason to worry. You look at her numbers with African-American voters, her numbers with Hispanic voters, that's a good reason to worry.
Meanwhile,
did you ever think that 44% of Latinos are supporting Donald J. Trump? That's what's going on today. African-American community supporting Donald J. Why? Because his policies worked and they lived under his policies, Anna. They lived under his policies. And now today, the Latino community is being choked by inflation.
Let's look at the poll, the numbers you're talking about, the latest New York Times Siena College poll, likely Latino voters, Harris at 56%, Trump at 37%, which is a much lower margin for a Democratic nominee that they've had over the past 3 elections.
Look, I think there's a lot of things going on. One of the things that I found really interesting about that poll also was that the majority of Latinos think that when Donald Trump is making anti-immigrant remarks and when he's making, talking with racial slurs and the things he says that we all have heard him say, they think it doesn't apply to them. And I have a really hard time understanding that. And so to me, it boggles the mind that somebody who looks like you, who looks like me, who sounds like you, who sounds like me, think that when he is making anti-immigrant racial offenses, it doesn't apply to
April,
them.
I want to give you the last thought.
I think Anderson, when President Trump's talking, he's talking about criminal folks that are being sent to our country. He's not talking about Latinos that are coming here to work hard. There's a process to come here to work hard.
Do you think that a racist is going to ask you for your immigration papers? Do you think a racist is going to ask you for your immigration papers?
Anna,
do you think the person...
Latinos believe and they know that President Trump is not a racist.
Oh, really?
He's a business owner.
That's why he got investigated by DOJ for not ranking to Africa.
I'm on the Trump 47 bus. I'm a Latino.
That means that
he has me on that bus.
That means you're okay with racism. It doesn't mean he's not racist.
Absolutely
not. We're going to leave it there.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So in my first video today, I told you guys that I would be covering a lot of the conflict that is happening in the mainstream liberal media between so-called minorities who are supporting Trump versus so-called minorities who are supporting Kamala Harris. Now, here's the thing. Minorities who support Trump, whether you're black, Latino, Asian, whatever, right? We are used to being called racial slurs, right? We're used to being told that we're not actually really black or we're not actually really Asian or Latino or that we hate ourselves, we hate black people, Latinos, we hate our own people. We're used to being told these things because we do not want to support Democrats, okay? And the mainstream liberal media, the pundits, they never had an issue with this, right? They never had an issue with questioning somebody's blackness because of their political opinions, right? In fact, again, they will basically openly say that you're aligning with racism. You are aligning with white supremacy, that you're against your own people if you are a so-called minority and you support Trump. However, when that card gets flipped back around on them, now all of a sudden they want to boo-hoo, whine, and cry, right? They want to cry foul and say, no, you can't say that, you can't do that, which is exactly what this black Trump supporter is going to do on this CNN panel. And CNN is going to go in a complete meltdown because this guy said something live on air that they just could not believe. So I want to talk about it, but before we get into it, we have to have a word from the sponsor of this video, Noble Gold. Are you worried about the future of the U.S. economy? With so much uncertainty in the air, it is natural to fret about the security of your retirement savings. However, there's one asset that stands the test of time, and that is gold. For centuries, gold has been a hedge against market volatility and economic instability. With a gold IRA from Noble Gold Investments, you can harness the power of precious metals in order to secure your financial future. By rolling over your existing IRA or 401k into a self-directed gold IRA, you can enjoy the potential for long-term growth and stability. Diversify your portfolio with a tangible asset that has real value. Setting up a gold IRA with Noble Gold Investments has never been easier with its streamlined process and expert guidance. This election year, do not let the volatility and uncertainty keep you up at night. Vote for the timeless safety of gold and silver in 2024. And Noble Gold Investments will give you up to 10 1-ounce silver Trump coins or a 10-ounce silver American flag bar if you open a qualified account. Go to noblegoinvestments.com now. That is noblegoinvestments.com. And just remember, there's a risk with every investment and there's no guarantee of any kind.
What Donald Trump has said about an issue near and dear to both of your hearts, the issue of Black Americans and Latino voters. Kamala Harris has been doing interviews on Black media. Trump, though, is overperforming in polling with both groups compared to past Republicans. Here is what he said when he was campaigning in Pennsylvania.
Any African American or Hispanic, and you know how well I'm doing there, that votes for Kamala, you got to have your head examined, because they are really screwing you. They are really screwing you.
Hey, that's facts. That's facts. At this point, if you are considering voting for Kamala Harris after having lived through the disaster of the Biden-Harris administration, I don't know what to tell you, man. I really don't. I definitely think something is wrong, okay, upstairs. And if you are a man that is voting for Kamala Harris, there's something wrong with your testosterone levels. And I'm so serious about that, right? Like, that's not an insult, okay? We're not out here calling anybody a fascist or racist or bigot. No, we're just saying, listen, you're just not thinking correctly, right? You need to rethink how you're thinking about the issues, because under Trump, he has a proven track record of success. Under Biden and Kamala Harris, in which Kamala Harris said that she takes responsibility for everything Biden did, okay? They both have admitted that she was heavily involved and she would not have done anything different. They have a proven track record of failure. Okay? You're literally voting for failure over success. And I personally think that somebody in their right state of mind would not be doing that, right? They should not be doing that.
It is Kamala, for the record, but he is denigrating voters for making a choice that he does not like. Shelley, to you, what does he achieve with this?
Well, how is it? Wait, first of all, how is he denigrating voters?
He's saying that they are being, for lack of a better word, screwed.
Taken advantage of. They're being taken advantage of. They're paying higher pricing. They're working class, the ones that he's talking about, working class, lower middle class. They're paying more for food, they're paying more for gas, and they're being taken advantage of.
But
and
Shelley,
over the course of 30 years, they voted.
He also said that they, that they had to have their head examined. That is not something that is a compliment.
Obama just told me the same thing. Obama just told me the same thing. I've got black women telling me I'm not really a. He inferred them. He implied them. He certainly did. He even threatened us with, "You're lucky Michelle's not here." I mean, come on. Let's not make things up. Let's be honest here, and let's really be clear what's being said. If you're an African-American man, look, let me boil this election down in the African-American community to a very simple I'll reference the great Malcolm X. This race is between House African-Americans and field African-Americans. And the field African-Americans are going for Donald Trump. I'm talking about your men who build, your men who put things together, your men who work with their hands, your men who do things, not the men who push paper, or the men who are connected to power and want to continue to be connected to power.
Are you denigrating African-American men who are professionals who work in white-collar jobs? Is that what I'm hearing from you, or?
No.
I'm just trying to understand, is Shelley the House woman or the field woman? I'm just trying to understand that part. I'm just trying to understand. We have someone who's spitting. I'm just trying to understand the one that's spitting talking points right now. Are you the House Negro or the field Negro that you're referring to? So I just want to make sure your question was about denigrating black people. That literally was your question. You have a Republican fool who is talking right now about. You literally just said that black men. You actually just said this is an election about House or field. This is the nonsense that we are listening to right now by those that are supporting Donald Trump. That is actually what you just.
Again, you know what's so funny about this? As a black conservative, seeing black liberals melt down over this guy playing the same card that they played against black conservatives for years, who decided to support Republicans, right? Basically trying to say that we are sellouts, that we are racial slurs, okay? Always trying to compare black conservatives to the black person that would have supported slavery, that loves the white man, right? You guys all know, okay? These are things that have been said time and time again about black conservatives, right? And now this guy wants to act offended and triggered by this black Trump supporter saying that, yeah, this election, when you talk about black voters, it is between the black working class, okay, and the black bourgeoisie. That's what it is. That's true. That is the analogy that he was making right now. He said it in a way that, you know, hey, you can call it controversial, but I don't think it's controversial because this is the type of language that has been used to smear black conservatives for years now, right? So don't sit here and try to act like, oh, well, I'm so upset, I'm so hurt, you can't say stuff like this. I've heard this type of language for the longest time. Now, this guy, again, he's using this analogy to say that, yeah, working class black people, middle class, people who are at the bottom of the socioeconomic ladder, they're being screwed over by the policies of the Biden-Harris administration, which is an absolute fact, okay? When you look at inflation, it has hurt those at the bottom the most. Now, when you look at the black people who are supporting Kamala Harris, who are out here stopping for Kamala Harris, like the Roland Martins of the world, right? The black bourgeoisie, they're rich, right? They aren't really hurt by inflation. They aren't hurt by the open border policies of the Biden-Harris administration. But the people that are hurt by the policies tend to be middle class and at the bottom of the socioeconomic ladder. Those are the facts. That is what he's saying. That is what he's saying. And to pretend otherwise is to be intellectually dishonest about what he's saying. Because there's nothing really controversial about it. It's not controversial when you use these same types of analogies to smear black conservatives. That's never controversial. Nobody ever has a problem with that. So I don't want to hear the boohoo whining and crying because this guy used a slave analogy to discuss the black working class versus the black elite. And this is just not a black thing. This is a thing across all races, to be quite honest with you. This election really is about the working class versus the elites because the elites are behind Kamala. The working class, they're behind Trump. That's what it's about, right? That's basically what it is at this point.
Sure.
There's only, well, clearly you must be in your own talk. I'm not sure what kind of radio show you have that you can't listen to your own thing. So you actually just said.
For Trump.
Again, do you understand? You sound
no,
absurd
I do understand, sir.
and silly. And so let's actually talk about the substance of your question. The substance of the question was around denigrating. The substance of the question was denigrating black and Latino communities.
Sir, the substance of what I said is very clear.
My name is Michael. My name is Michael. And we thank you that. So the point here, the question that was raised around denigrating black and Latino communities. And
all right, my brother, let me answer the question.
The concerning part.
Are you going to let me answer the question?
The concerning part.
Are you going to let me answer the question?
Shelley, you made the point saying that you made a point saying that you believe that
the point I'm making, ma'am, Sarah. The point I'm making is this: the men who get up every day and make things happen with their hands, they build things. They're plumbers, they're electricians, they're working for Amazon. These men who are coaching 7 and under football, not because their son or daughter plays, but because they want to keep brothers off the streets and they're volunteering their time. These men are going for Trump. These men, and I used an analogy made famous by the great Malcolm X. So if you're saying that I'm denigrating anybody, then you must assume that he was denigrating somebody. So don't even throw that word out there again, my brother.
So Michael,
the fact of the matter is that's what you're seeing in the black community. So I'm not denigrating anybody.
We have heard the filibuster now. So the point yesterday.
I answered your question.
When Vice President.
Yeah, so you see that, you heard that. Okay, I think everybody understands the point that guy was making. I think that his point was very valid, right? I think there's a lot of truth to what he was saying in the sense that, yeah, I mean, the working people, the working class, okay, hey, they're behind Trump, right? And the elites are behind Kamala Harris. And that is what this election has become about because ultimately, at the end of the day, the working class has been hurt by Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, and the elites have benefited from Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. And this guy made an analogy that was triggering, but these people love talking about slavery and using slave analogies when it comes to smearing black conservatives. But as soon as it's used in order to make a point about economic class and how that plays into politics and what's happening in this election, right? Oh, you want boo whine and cry. Oh, you can't do that. You can't say stuff like that. You're denigrating black people, right? Again, it's amazing how that works. But anyways, there's a full-blown political civil war, right, that is happening between minorities. You're seeing this play out on television. You got Ana Navarro saying that if you're Latino and you support Trump, then you're aligning with racism, right? You support somebody that hates Latino immigrants and stuff like that. And the guy is trying to explain, no. Latinos are lined up behind Trump because of the same reasons this black dude was saying that black people line up behind Trump. Because they're working class, right? Because they've been hurt by the policies of the Biden-Harris administration. The open borders policies are not good for the working class, okay? They're not. But instead of acknowledging the reality of what's happening, no, they rather put their heads in the sand and boo-hoo, whine, and cry, hate and bigotry instead of saying that, yeah, this is a real thing. It is. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.